You are looking live at the Royale with Cheese Arena in beautiful downtown Chicago, Illinois, on the fastest internet backbone in the world. We are here on the Independent Broadcast Network, and we are bringing you Friday Night Hockey, and it is a big night once again, the biggest of nights, as we bring you the Season 6 finals of Division 1 between Team Fancy and We Clean Now. I am Winners with the One. I'm here with Dr. Killinger. Good evening, man.
Hey, how's it going?
The excitement is palpable, and the air is electric, and these teams are about to make things happen. Now, this one was kind of a tough one to get together because currently the master servers are down, but we managed to get everybody directly connected via IP. So it looks like we are about to get underway with this best of 5.
Indeed, yes,
All the teams are here.
This is the warm-up here. It looks like this. We got Team Fancy versus We Clean now. We can go ahead and run the lineups in red.
Sure.
Team Fancy. We have Lidl Fancyton, Fancy French Toast, Fancy V, and Fancy Player. And in blue, for We Clean now, we have Jingle, Jose, Wearing New Year Skates, and Juan. Jingle.
Yes,
Jose,
and all
wearing New Year skates.
members are present. We have a 4v4 lineup for the finals, so I'm very excited about that. This is going to be a match of titans here.
Indeed. Very much
and
so.
We are now underway. Yeah, so we'll be a best of 5, so there is a lot of hockey to be played. I am loath to make predictions because, again, we've said it before. I think these teams match up very well with each other. And, of course, they have scaled the summits of the regular season and the playoffs to get here. And, of course, the winner tonight will get their names inscribed. Each player will get their names inscribed on the Blood Dragon Memorial Cup just underneath the head of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. A huge honor, probably the hugest in all of Hockey ? This is a free game. You can it is made by Cryptic Sea, and you can pick it up at hockey?.com. We always like to get a good plug in for him because it's a cool game and a cool community. And if you haven't checked it out, you totally should. So we're about 1 minute in here, and nobody has scored yet, although there have been a couple of opportunities. That was a good one there, as there was nobody in the net and not able to get anything going, though. So We Clean Now will come back to pick this up. Wearing New Year's skates will now take it in the corner. And, yeah, Gabe revealed the secret identities earlier of all the We Clean Now guys, although I've forgotten who's who already. Yeah, I'm so bad with that. Here's a wraparound attempt, and it goes across the crease as it just kind of got away from him on the attempt. And so they will have to set up once again. Fancy French Toast pursuing this into the corner. It will be sent around. And Jingle and Lidl looking for this. Now taken other way. Here's a possible chance. Beautiful pass in front, and what a save by Fancy Player. He must he that's funny. Okay. for many reasons. So now back the other way. Possibly. It's still in the neutral zone. And this will be sent down. Yes, Fancy Player. We had planned to do the finals last week, but yes, the artist currently known as Fancy Player was they had their whole team here. I'll say that much. They were ready to play, but then it ended up getting postponed. We just with the holidays, there were just not many people around for any of the hockey festivities of any kind. So, yeah, things ended up getting diverted to this week, but full attendance tonight. Both teams ready and raring, and lots of shots coming in so far. This one wide to the right, though, as Fancy V picks it up on the move now. He's got Fancy French Toast in front. He's going to look for him here. Karam's off the side of the net, not able to get back to that. And this is going on the stick, and the shot, the save. Ho, ho, ho. as that one is stopped by Jose in traffic. And here's one that is blocked on its way in. And it's some good back and forth action between these teams. 1:30 left in the first period. And surprisingly, no score, although, yeah, there have been lots of shots on goal.
Indeed, yeah. That's... Well, there you go.
Jingle!
Asking you shall receive.
Sneaks one through.
I was just about to say how unusual it is for neither of these teams, who are normally so prolific, to have not scored by now. And there you go.
Yep, the caster curse strikes again, and Jingle strikes again. The first goal of the game as we approach the 1 minute mark. And we have found that in these best of 5 series, it is good to try to come out and get that first game in. I mean, it's not necessarily the indicator of how the series is going to go, but you definitely, if you can set that tone, you want to do it. Here's a shot from the other side. Oh, a jump save by Jose. Now again in front. They got to clean it out, and they do. We clean now. Doing a good job there on defense as they swept that one out of the slot. As I'm making lots of cleaning analogies here, and they are making it happen on the ice defensively. 20 seconds now. They'll gather it back up wearing New Year's skates now. The long pass. Jingle's going to chase this down. And it will be taken in the corner. Now it's Lidl Fancy. He will send it through. They've got a chance for a shot here. It gets deflected by one of the We Clean Now guys. And that was wearing New Year's skates, I believe. Dangerously close to the net, but time did run out. So we'll go to the second period with the 1-0 scoreline.
And here we are.
Yeah, that's PK. He heard my parcelling rant last week, so that's a good sport, that PK. He can be. We do have a good time when we have a good time here on Friday Night Hockey. I mean, that's a hallmark of what we do. Here's a shot, and it is slowed down in front. And Team Fancy almost had one there. And now We Clean Now moving it the other way. Long distance shot. That's going to go wide to the left. Will he come out and play this? He does. He's going to dislodge it over to Fancy French Toast. Littleton going ahead of him there. He's going to go ahead and launch. And the save made by Jose. And they will just fling this one back out. And Jingle trying to get to it. Fancy V, of course, Big V, one of the all-time great scorers in this league. And surprised he has not gotten on the board yet. I have a feeling he will. This series will not go by without a goal or two from Fancy V.
As will be astonishing. Weirder things have happened, but that would be something.
Yeah, both these teams proven goal scorers and solid defensemen, and they're in front now. The shot, and this one is going to go just over the net. And they're going to try to pick it up and move it out from behind the net. It is taken by Jingle, though. He'll take this in the corner, still with it. And he's got room to move and fires one. It goes off the left post. That one had a chance. That was almost a 2-0 goal there. Now Team Fancy pushing it the other way. Dislodged back at center ice. In the neutral zone now, Fancy V. He's going to shoot. Oh, and that was another big save there. Cool. It looked like that might hit a couple of sticks on the way. And Jose, I believe he will get credit for the save there. Here's a backhand attempt. This will go well wide. But they're holding it in. Team Fancy doing some heavy work on offense there, holding possession. And now it's going to go back all the way to Fancy player.
Nope, back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, they're just going to play catch with it for a little bit here throughout each other's respective zones. And, kind of I don't want to say a conservative game because both teams are really getting a lot of shots off. But, yeah, you don't want to make any big mistakes here in a
Yeah,
finals.
very defensive minded so far.
Either way, I don't think either of these teams has won a championship in HQML. This being We Clean Now's first campaign in HQML. And Team Fancy, of course, they've been around a few seasons, and they are a team of greatness.
They have come close in the past.
They have come very close, Killinger. Yes, and so they would really like to cap season 6 off with a championship. And so far looking pretty good, but We Clean Now still with that 1-0 lead as we approach the 1 minute mark of the second period. And now looking to get that pass in front. Had Big V waiting in the slot. Fancy French Toast. Now it's going to go back to and through the neutral zone, back the other way, and it will be Littleton chasing this down. Jingle manages to intercept and will race to get back to this. And Lidl does chop it away as he was about to try to put one on frame. The wraparound attempt off the side of the post. And another close one, but not quite for We Clean Now. As Jingle, he was Johnny on the spot. And that gives Big V a little bit of room to move here now across the point. Now he's got room, gets past the defenseman, takes his time, shoots and scores! And there it is, Killinger.
It makes it look easy.
Oh, man. And so we are tied at 1. And that was a big goal for Team Fancy. They really needed that one, and they have tied it up. Here's a last-minute attempt, 6 seconds. The shot the save made Jose. Rebound, a couple of guys in front. Another shot off the crossbar. And that is going to do it. So a nice little barrage at the end. Some pretty good shots coming in and finding their target. But a little bit of Jose and a little bit of the rub of the post and a little bit of offense from each team. It is 1-1 as we go into the third period. So a very exciting, you always want to see the finals. You don't want to see blowouts or anything like that. But what we've seen a lot, Killinger, lately is these third periods are very important. And here we go. Open net. Fancy V with his second. And that was just
going on there.
Yeah, just patiently working his way through and until he finally ran out of people to get around. And so then it was academic from there as he puts them up 2-1. But yeah, we've seen these things stay pretty close until the third, and then somebody really gets an advantage and starts pulling away. But here's a shot and a big save there as Fancy Player does get it. And that was a nice one. And that's going to open up Fancy French Toast here. The backhand shot, Jose with a save. And the goalies are incredible so far in this finals, as they are going to have to be all night. And now here's We Clean Now again, the shot and another save. Wow. And the rebound attempt is blocked, and it will ricochet back in the other direction. We'll see if Jose comes out to play this. No, he's going to let wearing New Year's skates hang on to this. Now to Jingle. Stolen. Fancy V. 2-on-1 break. Uses the boards. Gets around. Got some room now. 3 guys around. Look at him working his way through. He's going to loaf the pass there down low. And Fancy French Toast, it just gets a little bit beyond him there. And here's a chip shot. Oh, Jose, did this go in? No, swept off the line. Unbelievable. That looked like it was in.
Ooh,
but here he is with another attempt. And a wide to the right. And wow, there's a couple of big shots and big stops and big what the hell just happened. And now Fancy Player sweeps one off the line on the other side. So it is going back and forth in this game. Big offense from both of these teams. It is definitely a finals atmosphere here as we are about 3 minutes left in the third period. And now here's a long shot. What a beautiful one. Oh, top shelf where Mama keeps the cookies. Fancy French Toast makes it 3-1, and Team Fancy goes ahead by 2. And that is a big, big goal
That might
right
do it for
there.
this game here. We'll find out. That's
Yeah.
oof.
I can't rule out weekly now because, we have learned not to be too hasty about
Yeah, that's very
who
true.
is going to win.
2.5 minutes is a lot of.
It certainly is. And when you've got teams of this caliber, and yeah, they're really stacking up well offensively as well as defensively against each other here. So, but right now, I mean, the Weekly now came out with the first goal and held on to that lead for quite some time. And then Team Fancy tied it up. They've got a couple tacked on here towards the end. And now they've just got to hold on for 2 minutes here in this third period to get the first win. This is a best-of-5 series. We're in game 1. Here's another attempt. And, he pursues him out. That was gutsy there by Jose. But it worked, and they almost flip it in the other direction. And so now Weekly now does have it in the Fancy zone. He's going to go ahead and just lob one towards the net. This will go just wide. And hammering one across the shot. Oh, and another one,
Jeez.
Not quite. But, wow, they are getting the attempts once again. As we near the 1 minute mark, here's Team Fancy moving it the other way, 2-on-1, trying to move it through. And Weekly now catches up with them. Lots of sticks flying around, and this one will go back to the neutral zone finally. And it will be picked up. Jiggle! Oh, waste no time. Just a snap of the wrist. And he makes it 3-2. So, yes, do not count out this Weekly now team. They are down by 1 here with less than a minute to play. Can they make a comeback? They've got time. They've got the talent. And right now they just need some room on the ice. Team Fancy playing them very close man on man. There's a chance in front. Spinning puck, chased down, held in. And now in the corner, they're going to battle for this. Which way will he go? He's going for the wraparound, and just barely. It's a big save again.
Oh, man, I don't know how that didn't go in.
Well, that was big work by Fancy player. Looked like it, just very alert. The awareness. I mean, this is a first-person game, so it is really difficult when you're in the net to kind of get your bearings sometimes. But here's a chance, and the shot, the score. Oh, man, Fancy French toast. Makes it 4-2, and that is going to do it. The GGs come out, and Team Fancy will take game 1 in a thriller.
That was for a bit there. I thought Weekly now might have closed the deal there. They might, get that third goal and tie it up, and those had visions of overtime and everything, but nope. Team Fancy pulled it out in the end.
They kept it exciting.
I see.
So now we'll see what happens. The first team to take 3 of these games will win the championship. So we'll see if Team Fancy can run the boards on them.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I had to kick Laser Pew Pew. That's okay. He was in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be done.
Well, yeah, I guess since they had to go advertise the IP address for we're going to get some stragglers. And then you've got all these people that would, and I'm going to bitch. Okay, here I go. This is something I always bitched about in tribes, too, or any game. We're out here fucking casting. Watch the fucking cast, folks. Don't be the asshole that has to get in the game itself because you can do it better than yeah, you're just all you're doing is fucking up everybody's ping and discounting our super entertaining work that we're doing here. just watch the damn stream. Don't clog up the server, and then everybody says, "Oh, I'm getting lag." We have the same problem in tribes too. It's like, well, fuck you. I can look at it better than what Craig's showing me. No, you cannot. You cannot. So, rant over. First game back on, and Jingle already on the board for Week Clean.
11
Now
seconds.
They have changed colors.
Indeed, they have switched colors. So now Week Clean now is in red. And Team Fancy is in blue.
Yes. Looks like essentially the same players.
Indeed.
But wow, that is a big score right off the bat there. So we're kind of at the same spot we were at the beginning of the first game. But Jingle with a second goal. And we have not even gone a minute in, barely over 30 seconds. And Jingle from We Clean Now has got a couple of goals here. And so they are not going to go quietly into that good night. They are going to rage, as Michael Caine would say, against the dying of the light. I think we've got a series on our hands here.
Mm-hmm.
But having something to say about it on the other side of a fancy player, PK with a big save there. As he swats that one into the corner. That was a tough save. I mean, some of these, if you see them anywhere above ice level, those are difficult saves for a goalie. And we've talked about the evolution of goaltending over the past year in North America. It has been phenomenal. And compared to what people were doing, even a few months ago, some of the things that are done from the netminders now are just ridiculous. And it's been a pleasure to watch, no matter whether they're the player or not. But we have elapsed 2 minutes here in the first period, and Jingles managed to get a few through. So here is a possible chance again. The shot, what a save there.
Having none of it.
With authority, knocks that one away. Yes, a very Dikembe Mutombo finger-wagging one there. But here's the one. He gets it with the rebound. Jingle!
Hat trick.
Oh, man.
3 points in less than 3 minutes.
Yep. And one drawback to playing goal in this game is that you can't just glove it. You can't just glove it.
Gotta hit with the stick, yeah.
Get the whistle. So he makes the initial save there, and then that puck is just hanging right there in the crease, and Jingle able to get to it and get his third goal of the game. So definitely a different tone being set here in Game 2 by We Clean Now early on. We'll see if they can hold on. Plenty of hockey is left to say, as you always say, Conjure. But here is Lidl Fancyton. And he's going to at least get this into their zone. And they will try to hold on here at center ice. They do. And now here is Fancy V. He's going to be looking in the slot. A beautiful pass. Broken up, though, as Jose saw it. The rebound attempt. The shot.
That was in.
And that's a glitch goal.
That was in, yeah. That was a glitch goal.
So that will count.
Save.
It was a save.
No.
It was a save.
No, we got it on camera. It went in.
Yeah, we had one of those the other night too. And it's just it's a thing that happens sometimes, but
very rare, but it happens.
Yeah. And some of the players were saying, well, they hope that gets fixed in further versions of 55 hockey. Well, this just in, fellas. You're looking at the last version of 55. I mean, Cryptic Sea has confirmed that any changes made to hockey will go into the new version, which is damn good. The 62 version. Yeah, it really is. It is not far away from having all the tournament ready, but Jingle! Not far away from the net. and gets
One-timer
his
there.
fourth of the game. Just buries that one upstairs from close range as he gets a nice pass. And they are on a roll here, 4-1. And we'll go ahead and look for the long pass here. But yeah, I think I don't know. Cryptic Sea is pretty busy, guys. He is developing something like 4 or 5 games right now, and Sub Rosa, of course, which you will see us doing more casts of certainly in 2015. We've been talking about it. That's getting a lot of his time. I know he said on Twitter he had worked for 14 hours straight on it the other day, that they've added public transportation. He'd been talking about that for a while, and all sorts of really cool stuff. So yeah, but that's taking up a lot of his time, and so I don't know. There will be more things added, I think, to version 62 of hockey, but it's not it's not the biggest priority on his plate right now. But yeah, I would not expect to see any big changes made to 55, if at all any changes made to it, because I mean, if he's going to be working on hockey, he's going to be working on the new version. That's game dev, folks.
It's reality.
That's how that shit works. We can say this now. We are game devs ourselves, as we were working on #Wrecked from Hell Legit Games, which does have a new build out that you can play.
One soon.
Yes. And a tournament coming up January the 24th, I believe. Our friends at the DGL helping us out on that.
Get yourself a friend and join the 2v2.
Yeah, it's a 2v2 tournament. You can win a copy of Evolve for each of you. Oh, and somehow this one gets a little bit hamstrung on its way to the net as a couple of sticks hit it, and almost a chance there for Team Fancy. And now they will reload it. Fancy French Toast, plenty of room here. He's going to battle it with Jose. It does get away from him a little bit, picks it back up. We'll see where he goes with this. The spin move, he sets up in front, looking in the slot, and just a little extra mustard on that one. It goes past the intended receiver, and so now a Fancy player will play this in the corner. And now they're all converging on it. Jingle and TB there to hold it in. And we clean now. They've really changed things around here in this second period, as they have a 4-1 lead after they lost the first game. They are on track if they can keep this up to make it a 1-1 tie. We might, who knows, this might go all 5 games. It's been a while since we had a finals that went all 5 games, to my recollection, Killinger.
Ooh, it's been 3 or 4 seasons at least.
I think the last one went to 4. Oh, but what a shot!
TB.
TB, Mr. TB. They call him Mr. TB.
They do now.
A great Sidney Poitier movie. And it is 5-1. Yeah, Sidney Poitier may be a little bit before some of these guys' time.
Yeah, a little bit.
He was the Denzel of his time, fellas. But anyway, here we go. We're about halfway through this game. And wow, they are still on the move here. So Team Fancy kind of on their heels after a big first game win. But here's a shot at Fancy V. Whoa. Jose managed to, we're talking about those mid-level shots. He got it right about at the, in between the, right up above the shin guards. And he did get the initial stop, and it just bounced down and in. Just a lot on that shot. So, yeah, so we were talking about teams that can score quickly. We have seen Big V do it over and over. These guys definitely have the jump on offense if they need it, but they're going to have to do it quickly as time's starting to run out on the second period. And now Fancy V will hold on for a little bit here and try to set up, being harassed by Jingle. Does get around him, and he will start to make his move. And now he's going to do the coast-to-coast thing. He's past 2. Now he's 1 to beat. Does it. Loose. It's a 1v1. And the shot, the
crossbar.
save. Standing tall there.
Oh.
Wow. So these goalies have been just great tonight. They're just lights out tonight. As we go under a minute in the second period, still 5-2. Even after that, here is wearing New Year's skates. He will look down the rink to TB, and it will be handled the other way. They're going to dump it in. It will be a race to it. Fancy player, PK picks it up, sends it into the corner and around. And nobody from either team on that side. Look at the nice deflection there. That almost went. And just like it's drawn up on the board, Mr. TB waiting by the net. But it does not go. 21 seconds now. Still holding on. Chance. Another one in front. Starts to slow it down. Knocked away as before he can settle that in to get wood on it. And so 10 seconds now. Will they have time for another one? Yeah, it looks like they will. TB's got it. 4 seconds. He's going to have to launch quickly. 2 seconds. Does he see the clock? Well,
doesn't matter now.
Yep, 5-2 it will remain. Yeah, as we go to the third period. But yeah, to finish that off, yes, we will have sign-ups for the tournament at thedgl.org. That will probably be up, I think, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be not only giving away copies of Evolve to the winners of that tournament, but they're also doing an Evolve tournament for beta, I think, the week before that. So very busy times for the DGL. And also several of the North American leagues will be switching over more to DGL as HQML has done some exploratory stuff in there already, and the LHL about to go all in with it as they are setting up a very elaborate thing with, stats and all that shit, things people want. So if you're in the hockey community, you're definitely going to want to sign up, thedgl.org. Thanks to Link and all our friends out there. Here they go. And again, we clean out the shot, the save again. Oh, man. And launched back again. This one, not anything he had to worry about. A little wide to the left, a lot wide to the left, actually. But they're going to gather it back up. Look for it again. Oh, he spins and almost gets that one.
It
looked pretty.
It looked good. It looked good. He just barely missed it. That would have been rubbing salt in the wound a little bit there, showing off.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing some high-level play from both these teams. So, but if they can hold on here to this 3-goal lead, it sets up a very interesting game 3 because we will be tied. And so, yeah, as with any of these best of kind of series, if you can get that go-ahead game. We did say if you win game 1, it sets a tone, but game 3, I think even more so, especially if the teams are tied.
Oh, yeah. No matter which way you cut it, really, game 3 in a best of 5 series almost always ends up being, probably the most important game. Or maybe the last game, unless it is the last game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always a make or break sort of moment.
Yep, so here is Jingle again. He has been the MVP, he the real MVP so far in this game as he's scored, 4? 3 or 4 in this one.
First and 3 in under 3 minutes.
Yeah, provided the bulk of the offense. Oh, a big collision between 2 members of Team Fancy, and that sets him up in front, and that one is going to be just wide to the right. So very close. And they're trying to set up again in the slot. Puck is knuckling back to the neutral zone. Wearing New Year's skates, going to send one on.
Ooh.
And Littleton almost there to convert it. But, yeah, just a lot of bodies in the way. And so we're under 2 minutes now. How are they going to choose to play this? The wraparound attempt. He had a guy in front. but not quite. So here we go. They are Team Fancy is going to have to get the puck away from these
It's just
guys.
screwed with them. Stand over there in the corner and just juggle the puck around and just mess with them for a minute.
They are playing the possession game here, Killinger.
Uh-huh.
As well they should. I mean, that is a viable strat if you can.
You're up 3 points and we got a minute left. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just playing keep away and doing a good job of it. But I mean, this is you can get around pretty well. It's a high-speed game, so they've got opportunities to take the puck away from them. But they're just, here they go. Spinning around is Mr. TB there. He'll be looking for this one from Jingle. As Jingle will chase it down, gets his own. There's a shot. It does go through the crease and out. Now Fancy V trying to pick this up, wearing New Year's skates, is going to switch it. And now here's Jingle again, and he's through. He's going to get past one. A nice move around, and look at that one. Oh, man, up in the corner. Nobody puts Jingle in the corner. 5 goals, 6-2, and we have a series on our hands here, Killinger.
No kidding. This is first game turned out to be a little more lopsided than I thought it would be, and then this game swung completely back the other way.
Yep. Fancy V almost with one there as it hits the crossbar and goes down. But, yes, it doesn't really matter at this point. They had a 4-goal lead. So, yes, tied at 1 with that 6-2 win. And so this best of 5 is going to take at least a couple more games to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Will it go to 5? I do not know. It's been a fun season. Again, this was the biggest season so far of HQML. We started out, we had enough teams to do 2 divisions. And this was the first season that we experimented with that. And it was interesting to say the least. In fact, there is actually, technically, as I understand it, Killinger, there is one more series after this. Not tonight, because this is the best of 5. But at some point, we're going to have to do promotion and relegation, which was one of the major points of having 2 divisions. And if my information is correct here, I believe that will be the Cock Dragons will be fighting to keep their place in Division 1 against Redo the Third, who clinched the Division 2 title Tuesday. You can see that on IBN Casting's channel on YouTube. Just type in IBN Casting on YouTube, and you can watch that one. As it was a best of 5 that was really Redo the Third won 2 games, then everything just kind of disintegrated.
Yeah.
And it was determined that they were indeed the Division 2 champions. So by whatever measure. So yeah, they earned the right to play against the Cock Dragons to see who will be in Division 1 and who will be in Division 2 next season, Season 7, which I'm not sure when that's starting. Fairly soon, I would think. We'll let you know when signups start to happen. We were discussing earlier whether we'll have stuff in the off season. It's kind of up to the players, I suppose. We'll find out. As we usually, Friday Night Hockey was based on the open skate, back before we had leagues, or any leagues in the North American scene, I should point out. Yeah. And, just people showed up and skated and had fun, and we casted it. And so usually in the off seasons we do that, and the plan is to continue doing that. We'll see how the community feels. As I'm very pleased by what we're seeing tonight so far. This is a very worthy finals so far, and surprisingly, Yeah, we've gone this far without any goals, and right now without any
Yeah.
goalie for Team Fancy. Now a Fancy player will back up into the net. So they're all out there contending for this one.
Yep, they're
Now
keeping
back at center ice, they're going to race for it. Stolen in mid-flight there. As we clean now, they are in red. They will make a move, but the other way. Here's a shot. Jose's going to help guide this over the net. I think it was already on its way, but we'll give him credit for the save because we always do that for the keepers. And now they're holding on to it here in the neutral zone.
They decided to keep the same colors this time around.
Yeah. So, I don't know which is more confusing, but I don't know. Good times. And there's another one swept off the line. As close, but not close enough. As both these teams are playing each other very tightly defensively, but there's a shot, there's a save. And again, another big save, but he sneaks 1-5-hole on him. TB with the first goal of this game. As we clean now, will be the first ones on the board. As, yeah, the rare 5-hole goal in hockey ? Because you can't, go butterfly style or anything like that, so you don't see as many. But they just had him tangled up on the side of the net over there, and so when they fed that one through into the slot, it was a tough one. And Mr. TB right there to slam it home. And so that's the first goal of this game 3. Now we'll see where it goes for each of these teams. So we battle through the neutral zone. Looks like Jingle will get the better of this one. And he sends it back. And Fancy V may get to this. No, big play by wearing New Year's skates to dig it out. And now Fancy V will get it back. He was looking to drop one into the slot for there was Fancy French Toast. They're trying to set up some offense here. Here's a shot, and this one waved away. Fancy player there. 1:23 left in the first period. And yes, things seem to have settled down somewhat. Although, here's a possible chance. He's looking for the backhand. Oh, trying to get sneaky with it. He does get it on frame almost, but it does go a bit wide. So now at the 1 minute mark, it will be taken by Jingle. He's got TB in front of him. He's going to take this himself, though. Now he sends it over. 3 guys in front. Oh, just shot wide. Oh, man. I think that was just too many cooks there. They had plenty of chances, but Fancy French Toast is going to get him on the counterattack with the assist from Fancy Player. And so now we are tied at 1. And again, another close first period. But here's a shot. It is stopped. And now behind the net. 26 seconds now. Trying to hold it in the zone. Now sent out. Is wearing New Year's skates. Going to go ahead and send this in deep. Littleton there. Jingle and Fancy V trying to get this away from them, and they do. 8 seconds left. And right now they're just going to try to prevent something happening offensively. And they do. And the GPs come out. Yes, a good period. It was a good period.
Indeed.
And it sets up a good second period, I think. Wow, this is we've seen some pretty excellent finals in each of these HQML seasons, but this one so far is ranking right up there as far as how these teams are playing each other. It's just been a back and forth battle. It's like a Rocky movie. Sometimes he's beating up the Russian, sometimes the Russian is beating him up. But here's one loose shot, and Jingle
There you go.
bounces one off the post and in. And he has
Seems like a
scored
long
a
time
grip of
since we've
goals.
seen that. Been a long time since we've seen Jingle pop up in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, at least a few minutes.
Yeah.
But they will take the lead off that. And we'll see if they can keep that momentum going. They will retain possession of the puck in their own zone. But stolen, Fancy V. They're going to set up now. And it is knocked away from him. And along the boards, it is picked up. And he's just going to go ahead and throw one at the net. Why not? Fancy player there for the stop. And he will send one, a nice pass there. And they will get this into the corner. And they're going to hold it in the zone. Chase down now. And who will get to this first? Fancy V there at the point. He's going to go ahead and fire. And this one blocked. So now another race to the puck. Everybody just kind of taking cracks at it from long distance now. Sometimes that works. I mean, we've seen that's one of the reasons that LHL has switched to 5v5, they tell me, is just because the long shots have been something that is difficult to overcome in the game. So, and also Matt's too good. Those are the reasons I was told they're moving to 5v5. HQML will be staying at 4v4. It is the international format. And so, I don't know. I think it's good to have at least one league that plays under international rules. So, because 5v5 is, you'd be surprised how much that one player makes a difference. And it's a different kind of feel to get accustomed to, I think.
I have to agree. I think it adds a lot more to keep up with, even in casting, let alone keeping track of it while you're playing.
Yeah. Well, and one thing about it too is that it when they first tried it just wasn't working as well. Oh, but Jingle, look at the pass and the shot and the score. TB to Jingle, nice connection there, 3-1. And wow, that was huge from Weekly. Now long distance off the post and finally sent away as it just hung there for a minute. There wasn't much Fancy player could do about it either way on a shot like that. We were talking about the long shots, and there they are. But yeah, I think the fact that the skill level has increased does help with 5v5 now, because it was, I'm not gonna lie, kind of a clusterfuck when people first started trying to play 5v5 originally. Because it's like, well, these are the real hockey. Oh yeah, I'm sounding like Mabel now. Yeah, it's like the tribes thing. Well, 8v8 is so different than 7v7. Because of the asymmetrical nature of which, to be honest, hell, I'm rolling with Team Generator. We're like, sevens and eights both suck. That's not real tribes. You got to have double digits. And Dingle, he may have double digits before this night is over. He has got 3 again in this game, and he is a difference maker for this Weekly Now team with a 4-1 lead. And now here's Team Fancy coming back the other way. The shot, oh, how did that not go? My goodness.
I'll tell you what, back in the Tribes days. Score.
What a save. My, Jose. Can you see? And he could. Even in traffic there, screened out.
I'll tell you, Team Generator there, we settled on 12v12. Settled. And that's just so casters would have room.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah.
Play Tribes like it's Tribes.
Hate to limit it to that few people, but yeah, well, for the sake of everybody, yeah, go 12v12. Yeah, that was always part of the fun for Tribes for me. Back in the day, it was just these huge teams, and everybody's got their little things they're doing, and not to sound like Dare or anything either, but there are many different meta games going on, within the game. What a pass, almost converted there. TB was on the spot again, but that one looked like he just shot that one with everything he had, and maybe just a little too much wrist. But probably not his last attempt at goal, as we will see them gather things back up here. We clean now. Again, they're not in a hurry. They do have this is like that last game. They have a 3-goal lead. So they're going to try to slow the tempo down and keep this away from the potent goal scorers of Team Fancy. And like I said, that is, when you're talking about the meta game.
That's a pretty good one. Pretty good strategy.
Yeah. Yes, and FPSC is correct. Yeah, it started out 14s and 12s. Yeah, believe me, I remember, man. I was there when there was all that. Here's a Fancy V. He's there for the goal as he gets an assist from Littleton. And so, yes, this one still close. It's down by a couple here. Team Fancy in game 3 that they need more goals. And Big V definitely one to deliver. And they will send one on here. Yes, well, yeah, I was there for the Tribes of Sin where they were like, well, guys, we can't even do 8 players because when the big esports teams, sign these guys for big contracts and shit, you're talking, and we're flying them all over the world to play Tribes. That extra player is a huge expense for your TSCM or your Optic or whoever the fuck they thought. I don't know.
In hindsight, that notion's just absolutely hilarious.
It's funny, isn't it?
TSM or any of those guys who'd want anything to do with any of those assholes.
Yes, Dignitas, yes.
Yeah. But hey, it was a different time.
Yes, those were different times indeed. And I will always look upon them with fondness as the 2012 Tribes Caster of the Year. But yes, all we can hope for is some of these new Tribes-like games to take hold. And of course, if you go to fbsz.com, we track those things. And we're probably about due for a podcast pretty soon on that to let you know what the progress is on some of these. As talking to some of those guys, we know that progress is being made. So hopefully they're at a point where they're ready to talk about some of these things that they've been working on. And we'll be there to bring it for you. What a save! Whew. As Fancy Player, the rebound shot just through the crease and out. So it is a chance to move it back the other way. Fancy V, and a big save on the other end, Jose. And he might have just saved the game with that save, but they are reloading and trying again. They've got it at the face-off circle now, moving around, spinning, shooting, blocked. He will get to this first, and so now, as we'll see, Weakling now just kind of set up in a more defensive triangle here, and finally send it through. And Fancy Player will waste no time dumping it back in for them to chase it. It will be picked up at the point by Littleton. Moves it down. 42 seconds now. Time running out. Moving back the other way, here is TB. And they're on the counterattack now. Fancy Player will come out and take this away from him. And he will immediately look up the ice for his team. Now, he's just going to take this himself, man. Here he goes. He's at the point.
20 seconds left.
He's going to fire, and this one over the net. But it does go back, a tasty bounce in front, and the save made. And rebound still in favorable hands for Team Fancy. And up in the air now, 10 seconds now. They've got to do something with it. They are just flinging everything they can towards the goal in hopes of making something happen. But it is a counterattack on the other end. And that will be enough to eat time up off the clock. And we clean now. We'll make it 4-2. And so they are up 2-1 in the series. They are one game away. And Cryptic C is saying that it was a DDoS. Some fucker actually DDoSed the damn Cryptic C master servers. If you follow the Cryptic C Twitter, there has been tensions have run high there. Somebody made a Twitter account specifically to gripe about Sub Rosa.
Yeah, well, haters
they are disappointed that he is not a superhuman robot who is able to churn out code at, godlike speeds. Because it's so easy, right? Game dev, so easy.
Oh, yeah,
press a couple buttons.
You get Unreal Engine 4, and it's like 90% of your game's done right there, right?
Yeah, write your own engine shit from scratch like Cryptic C. Oh, yeah. No problem.
I mean,
yeah, anybody can do it, right? Yeah. And Fancy V. So the game 4 starts out with a big one from Big V, and they are fighting for their lives here as, we clean now, one game away from taking this championship. But Team Fancy, a franchise with a lot of pride, and as one would expect from a team named after Iggy Azalea's hit song with Charlie XCX, they are not just going to lay down for this. So, with a minute gone here, they do take the lead. But yeah, now I don't know if it's a DDoS specifically on the Cryptic C servers or if it's just the place where his stuff is hosted. So I just saw that come in off the wire here.
Yeah, interesting though.
Yeah, so the master servers, if you're wanting to play hockey currently, they are down. So we had to have these guys connect with direct IP. And luckily they were able to do so, and were able to bring you this finals. And what a finals it has been so far. As, yes, Team Fancy trying to get back in it now. It is a best-of-5 series. They are down 2-1. And so Team Fancy in red, they do have the lead here. But here is We Clean now. Making moves. Fancy French Toast draped on him. The rebound. Jingle. And he shoots and scores. And look, really, I thought that first one was going in.
Yeah.
It bounced off the inside of the post and out. But a very favorable bounce right in front. There to clean it up. And we are tied once again. And we've seen this score line more than once in this game. Here's a long distance shot hit by a fancy player there, as now they're going to just try to tap one through, and that's a beautifully done one there as Jingle finds TB, and it's just like a golf putt, man, just to slide it over. And you don't have to put a heavy touch on these types of shots, and that worked very well. So 2-1. All of a sudden, Team Fancy, they came out with the lead here, but here's We Clean now, and they have taken the lead back. So it is a struggle. The struggle is real here in the playoff finals of Division 1, Season 6 of HQML. This will determine the champion. Who will get their name inscribed on the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson head on the Blood Dragon Memorial Cup we will find out shortly, one way or the other. Just a couple of games left in this thing. And maybe less than that if We Clean Now can keep going at this pace. They have really, really been playing well tonight. And Team Fancy, as we said, they are a team that can get shit done. We've seen it over and over, and they've stepped up big and shocked the world a time or two. There's a big save there. A big part of that is I'm going to give him credit. PK Paching, fancy player. And there's a shot
off the post.
and a save. And, yeah, you have to give credit to Jose on the other side. He's been making some. Oh, but was that in?
That was close.
It was close.
It was really close. That was borderline. I'm going to say that not a glitch goal. Just give benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Just barely.
Just barely, yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, and, yeah. Jose's saying no. No.
Mr. Superman, no here.
Yes, their team logo is Rosa from Family Guy. Or Consuela, excuse me.
Yep,
Think of Sub Rosa or Sub Consuela. Here's a chance, moving in, shot. Now that one, TB is going to make it moot, as that one looked like it might have been kind of glitchy at the first, and then he just shoves it through to make it make certain that it is a goal. And so 3-1, we'll go into the second period. This is turning into a tough one for Team Fancy.
Yeah, it's
they've had to.
Am I right in saying if they win this one, that's it? They're the winners.
Yes.
So yeah,
and Team Fancy again working from a deficit. Now off the draw, big save there. Yes, not for lack of effort from their goaltender. I mean, I give credit where credit is due. I mean, I know PK was a little salty because they didn't get to play last week. That was beyond our control. We're just the casters, man. We don't. We just show up and talk about this shit and bring you these high quality images.
I don't pretend like anyone tells me shit.
yeah. We just. I was just a little alarmed when I showed up and like nobody was here. I mean, like nobody. It's the day after Christmas and it's like, okay, nobody's here. So I don't know what this means. Are we going to have a game or not? Did we even talk about this? But we've definitely had a series tonight. Here's a shot at Fancy V.
All right.
Bang. His second of the game. And so, yeah, do not count them out. We keep saying that. They're very tenacious. Lots of tenacity from this Team Fancy team. And so they are looking to push this to a game 5. Can they do it? TB now with the puck. Stolen. Fancy V spins. Wearing fancy New Year's skates. As the names sort of coagulate on my map here. There we go. The shot. And it is blocked. And so now this one loose. Who will get to this first? He'll be wearing New Year's skates. He will drop this along the boards. TB now down to Jingle. Littleton coming out. And we're at the 3-minute mark of the second period. We're nearly halfway through this game, and it is a close one, as this series has been a close one. Although We Clean Now has gotten some good bursts of scoring, the actual games themselves have been very tightly played.
Indeed, yeah. It's even closer than sometimes the scores might suggest. Team Fancy has done very well for themselves, despite a couple of the outcomes.
Yep. I mean, that's one of those sports cliches that in this case happens to be very true. And they're looking for one there for We Clean Now. But that will give an opportunity for Team Fancy to possibly push this the other way. No, taken away. Now regained, now lost again. Big battles going on in the neutral zone. And swing and a miss. Chance here off the. Oh,
No.
but he puts it onto the post and out. So here is Jingle. And a big collision separates him from the puck. And yeah, things are starting to get pretty chippy on the defensive side for both of these teams as we're starting to see a more physical game open up, as one would expect in a finals. A minute and a half left in the second period. Here's Littleton now. TB coming at him. There's a big collision. Littleton coming away with it, and they will move it down. Fancy French toast now. Stolen, sent back, and they will look for Fancy French toast again. This one getting away from him a bit, and it's going to give him a chance to move this in the opposite direction. Jingle now. Look at the pass. Oh, plenty of room to work through, and he will follow this into the corner, set up in the slot, blocked. Big defensive play as Team Fancy gets back quickly on D, and that's going to give him a chance to move in on the counterattack. No, sent back in. So Fancy Player now on the outside. Where is he going to go with this? He's going to send it up the corner. Fancy French Toast awaiting it, wearing New Year's skates on the steal, taking his time with this, trying to work his way through. He's going to go ahead and launch this. Fancy Player on the save, 29 seconds left. And now where's he going to take this? He's taking this. He's doing the Claude. He's going back to his own net to try to gain a little bit of room here. Now TB will fire. What a save! Oh, huge save from Fancy Player yet again. And
I got one more shot at this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe not.
4 seconds now. Yeah, and that will remain the scoreline as we go into the third, 3-2. And yeah, wow, how many saves has Fancy Player, PK Fancy, as he usually is called in these, made tonight? A bunch.
Oof, yeah, I don't want to have to be the guy who goes back and counts.
Well, I'm told that DVD is working on a some sort of program that does lots of cool stats, including recording IPs and stuff. So I have a feeling there are lots of functionalities of that would really come in handy for many reasons. And so we'll be finding out more about that from him. Maybe that's something that will be implemented. It records server-side stuff, so he says it also works in Sub Rosa and a New Zero. So very interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, DVD, of course, the leader of the Mighty Dicks, who played very well against Redo the Third in that game they played the other night. But yes, and Fancy V ties it up. And we have a game once again as we are about a minute into the third period of this game 4. And Team Fancy, this is a must-win game. But yes, thanks as always to Dick Van Dijk, who made the rink texture you see here. And and Fancy V has put him in the lead. And this could be big for Team Fancy. They are really trying to get some mojo going to push this thing to game 5. And if they can keep getting that kind of output from players like Big V, they can certainly do it. But We Clean Now with the puck. They will retreat to their own zone, set up once again. Here is Jingle. He's going to lob it through. Beautifully done. And Fancy Player sees that, and he is quick to break it up. So now they're going to send another one in front. Blocked again. Big defensive work from Team Fancy. And they are trying to hold on to this lead, maybe add to it. Chance in front, Fancy Fresh Toast shoots and scores! 5-3. And they are looking good here. That was a beautiful pass. And nice conversion on the end of it. And wow, this could we be looking at a 5-game series?
Looking more and more like it as the seconds go by.
Yes. But here is Weekly now. Chance in front. And puck gets away from him. He tries to dump it off to TB as he was coming in. And now in the neutral zone, kind of loose here. They will spin and fire and still on his stick, just trying to launch one at the net. Almost gets that into the box, but not quite. 2 minutes now. And wearing New Year skates, we'll send it to TB. He's got a little room enough to throw one at the net from back behind the line, behind the center ice line. Here's one knocked down. A couple of sticks get at that one. And Team Fancy will try to move it now again the other way. Here's Big V, launches off the post, hits the crossbar. So, but gained by Fancy French Toast. Big save there by Jose. And again, the goalie's very strong, very strong. There's one in front that is broken up. My goodness. It is clinical in the nets for both of these teams tonight. I mean, if you want to go back and watch this later and just see some high-level goaltending from either side of the rink, you are seeing it tonight in this HQML finals. With a minute left now, something's got to give. There's the shot. It is driven wide to the left, and here's another one off the crossbar. Oh, and so just knifing one into the slot now. It will go back through, and they are Weekly now fighting to try to finish this thing off, but Team Fancy holding on defensively by the skin of their teeth. They are just really battling them here as a lot of offensive pressure coming in from Weekly now. Now this is back at center ice and beyond 21 seconds, and it looks like if I were a gambling man with 15 seconds left here, tries to stuff one home from the side. We are going to a game 5 in this best of 5 series.
GG's
it had to come
indeed.
down to this.
Yeah, it did. There was just no other way.
What a great series, and it's a tribute to both these teams. They brought full teams for the finals, so appreciate that. That's good. And they have played. Both teams have played like champions. It's sad that one of them that we can't inscribe both of the team player names on the Blood Dragon Memorial Cup, but there can be only one. It's just like the Highlander. As Ricky Bobby said, it was the greatest movie ever made. And there was a lot of truth in the movie Highlander, and there can be only one. It is certainly a truth here in HQML as we are about to crown your Season 6 champions with this game as the decider.
There could be only one, and Queen is pretty fucking awesome, are the two big takeaways from Highlander.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and Sean Connery is a badass. Yes.
Oh, always, yes.
Long distance shot kicked things off. Jose having to make a quick save. And we'll see. Strategically, I don't think either of these teams really need to change anything they're doing. They just have to get in their mode and
just focus and get in there and do what you've been doing the entire time.
Oh, another big save by a Fancy player.
To use the
Yes.
buzzword, execute.
Yeah, and because the goaltending has been great, the defense very good for both sides, and yeah, we've seen some very nice offensive plays from both of these teams, and a lot of the goals have come just off of really good passing setups. I mean, the four-man game offensively a lot of the time is a two-man game. It's a pick and roll, like basketball, and we saw that with teams like Three Pronger, where you got guys like Matt and Dial who work that to perfection. They're last season's champions, and we're crowning a new champion here either way, but something's got to give, and it's not going to be easy for either one of these teams with saves like that from Fancy Player. And Jose on the other side also been just great, just great. So, yeah, it's I would hate to have to pick a victor here, especially
Ooh.
since no one has scored with 2 minutes elapsed in this first period.
It was very much like the previous game. It took the majority of the first period for anyone to score, but after that, it was a pretty electric game at that point, just back to back.
Yeah. And so, dumped down. Here's Jingle trying to get at it. This will be sent around and out. Wearing New Year skates. There, shoots. Another big save. My goodness. I'm running out of superlatives for these guys. And so now they will have to reload and try again here as TB has it. He's going to set it up in the slides there, swinging a miss, trying to go for the backhand, and no, he's not able to get back around. And so that one a tough one. Here's a long shot. This will go wide to the left. The rebound in front of another big save by Jose. And wow. Just wow. And here's another shot. Wow, shot as Fancy French Toast. That was some Kaner stuff there as he backhands it into the upper right-hand corner. A beautiful shot. That's going to be the kind of stuff you're going to have to do to beat these keepers. And he puts them on the board, 1-0. And so Team Fancy strikes first. So we clean now. They came out big here in this series, and then Team Fancy kind of caught back up to them, and they have forced a Game 5. And if they can keep doing stuff like that, they could turn the tide.
Yeah, that was
got it.
a really strange shot. It wasn't particularly fast. It wasn't particularly graceful, but it just you put the puck exactly where you needed to put it at sort of an off speed, and just goalie there's no way he was going to stop it.
Yes, and again we have to say, Gillinger, this stuff is a lot harder than it looks.
Oh
yeah. I mean, well, it wasn't, but man, to be able to have that kind of control over your shot, it is the skill curve of this game is just ridiculous. So here's a shot, and Fancy French Toast in the second of the game. And again, that's what they've got to do, though. You got to find those corners. Those are the tough spots, and then you want to go more, I suppose, glove side rather than stick side, because they do have a stick, but they don't have a glove. So again, you're seeing that Fancy French Toast. A good shooter knows that, and he is taking advantage of that, and that is about the only way to beat these goalies, unless you can just clog a bunch of people in front and try to get a nice deflection of some sort, or get the two-man game going and push it one way and then get the pass going the other way off the one-timer. I mean, but yeah, so far it's been Fancy French Toast and Team Fancy as we go to the second period, and a good period it was, as 2-0 Team Fancy in the lead, but still plenty of time for anything to happen. Even in overtime, Killinger. I'm not going to jinx it here. Yeah,
Keep my mouth shut.
we're in game 5 of best of 5 series. Like, oh yeah, we're in the 10th overtime of our game 5. Well, if this is the last hockey game we ever cast, and I hope it's not, then at least it's a doozy.
Oh yeah, that's always a good goal to strive for. If this were the last game I ever casted,
Yeah,
at least it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I always try to cast like it's my last cast, even if it may not be. But hopefully, I don't know. Season 6 was so good. I hope that we can make a season 7 that's even better. And with the 2 division system, we got to at least try that one more time. Now that we have promotion and relegation, to see how that plays out. And so, we've been doing this for almost 2 years here on Friday Night Hockey, the longest running hockey cast in the world, sanctioned by the developer, Cryptic Sea.
Yep, indeed.
As much as anything can be sanctioned, I suppose. You don't see him retweeting about other leagues, which we appreciate Cryptic Sea, and I celebrate his entire catalog, Highlander. There's so many great games. He makes the kind of games that I like to play. This certainly being one of them. Loose on the break, chance here, shot and score, Fancy V! And they made it 3-0. He gets the assist from Fancy French Toast, and they just got past everybody there. And he had options available to him. But if we've seen it over and over, man, if you give Big V enough time, he is going to make you pay the price, and he did there, certainly. So now Team Fancy, after struggling a bit early on in this series, they are looking very strong, trying to cap this off and get their first ever championship of HQML. And they've got it again in the zone. He's going to just lift this towards the net. The backhand wrister does not go. TB now. Fancy V in the vicinity. Going back the other way. Beautifully passed right onto the tape. Chance here. Weakling now shot. And he looked like he got a piece of that and knocked it into the behind the net area. And now so Fancy V trying to get this back. It will get away from him. He'll just pursue it down. Wearing New Year's skates, sends it up to Jingle. And they're both teams trying to use the boards here a little bit and not able to get anything off of those. So we're going to play back and forth for a little bit. Fancy V now settling it down, wearing New Year's skates, getting it. And back in the neutral zone, it just kind of goes past everybody here. So it's going to be a race and chase. And it will be handled. And here is another chance. He's going to shoot and score! Jingle!
Oh, there you go. Proving that they're not sleeping here.
Yes, his form here, as he scored so many goals, he has been the top scorer for Weekly now, just all night long. And so he comes up big when they needed him to. So 3-1. They're down by 2. But being down by 2 is better than being down by 3.
Yeah, I think the definitely math checks out.
Yes. Yes, if my math is correct, yes, indeed. So now puck deflected. This will be hunted down by wearing New Year's skates. There he's going to get to TB. Again, the man-on-man defense, very close, and it's going to result in the puck wildly flying around the rink and finally getting back to Jingle. He tries to set one up in front. He had his guy going in the opposite direction, though. And so they will regroup and fire it back in. And this will be in the corner. Oh, he looks for one there and not able to get a stick on it. Wearing New Year's skates will dump it in. Here's a possible chance. 3 Team Fancy players in the way of that one. 17 seconds now, second period.
Definitely, if you're Team Fancy now, you're looking to probably try and score at least one more goal, but Beyond that, just, play keep away. Play it safe. You're up by 2. It's the last game.
Yeah, but I don't know. With so much time left on the clock, I mean, you got a full period to play here. You don't want to start turtling up too early against this We Clean Now team, because they've been pretty good about their goal scoring tonight, especially Jingle. And so, you might play keep away from Jingle a little bit, but
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. We'll see how they play it, because we are underway in the third period of Game 5. And this is the one that decides it all. Beautiful pass, not able to connect on that. But they've definitely got the right idea here. As We Clean Now starting to make moves offensively. And they certainly need to. They will reset behind their own net. And again along the boards, Jingle here to pick it up. And he's being tailed closely by Littleton there. And forces him to have to back off and move through again. He's going to try to work his way through. Everybody does. Chance now. Shoots. Scores. Jingle as he gets past the entirety of Team Fancy. Makes it 3-2.
Certainly making it more interesting.
That was good work right there. So who is going to get the crown? Whoever it will be a first-time champion of HQML. And it's anybody's game here in Game 5. Both of these teams have won a couple. This one, the 5th and final. A shot and save as Fancy Player gets it. The rebound shot from distance. Another big save there. Oh, my goodness. Oof. He is on fire tonight. This is a performance for the ages from PK Paching, a.k.a. Fancy Player. You can hate the game, but you can't hate the player. We're down to 3 minutes now. Oh, man, there's a shot, and this one waved away by a Fancy Player. We Clean Now trying to get something going, but Fancy V now with it, and he is on the move. He's got some real estate. He's open. He shoots. Oh, big stop there as Jose came out huge to get with him. And Jose, again, we've talked about Fancy Player, but Jose has been equally incredible in the other end for We Clean Now, and that was a gamble that paid off for him. And that will take us almost to the 2-minute mark here. Team Fancy holding on to a 1-goal lead and also holding on to the puck as Big V will work his way through. And there's a collision behind him. Again, he's going to have room. Shoots. What a save. The rebound, though. Fancy French toast. Right in position there as he was just there on the doorstep to pick up the garbage. And so a good collaborative effort between he and Big V. That is what championship teams do, and they are looking very much like a championship team now, perhaps. Under 2 minutes left. 4-2 the lead. We Clean Now still in this, though, looking for the shot. It is blocked and sent out. Held in here, wearing New Year's skates. Taken away from him, though, Fancy French Toast. He's been big tonight, too, as well. He's going to have another chance here. What a shot and score. His 4th of the game. And makes it 5-2. And Team Fancy.
Bringing down the hammer here. It's could be
start measuring their heads for the crown. As they have just stepped it up. And that's one reason we play best of 5 in the finals. It's a war of attrition. You can have a good game or two, but I think nobody's going to complain whoever wins this, and it's looking very much like a Team Fancy win. But We Clean Now, this was their first season of HQML, and they certainly made an impact. They made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's A great, great effort. They beat some really good teams to get here. There's a stop, Jose. And 38 seconds now. And yes, it is looking like Team Fancy is going to be your champions of Season 6. Possibly 30 seconds now. Moving it in is We Clean now. They're keeping the pressure on offensively. But yes, time ticks away. And it is becoming inevitable. There's TB with it. In the closing moments, looking for a beautiful pass in front. And almost there with Jingle. And they will get one off here. One final save. Oh, but TB with no time left on the clock gets a a morale goal, I suppose. And
There you go.
so it keeps it close. But put it in stone, your Season 6 HQML champions are Team Fancy in stunning fashion. This went to 5 games, one of the greatest finals in HQML history, most definitely.
I agree. Yeah,
What an incredible performance by both of these teams.
Oof.
But yes, We Clean now, certainly nothing to be upset about. Certainly no Jimmies need to be wrestled. They, I don't know. At the beginning of the season, who would have expected to see We Clean now in the finals? Not many of the experts, I tell you what. But yes, they fought hard. They came out big. They really set the pace there in the beginning. But Team Fancy, the veterans, they come in and they take the crown.
Yeah.
And just great goaltending, good stuff from Big V, and wearing New Year's skates.
It's good performances all around. I don't think it was a bad performance amongst any of the players.
Everybody, the whole team was great.
And I definitely both those teams deserved it, but I think tonight the better team won. No real question about it. They both played great, but Team Fancy, you just played better at the end. Played better when it mattered.
Yep. And they were hungry and it showed. So they will, I'm sure currently they're bringing out the Blood Dragon Memorial Cup upon which their names shall be inscribed. And so each of them will have a spot in Hockey Question Mark history in the most hallowed of trophies, the Blood Dragon Memorial Cup, because it is the only trophy in Hockey Question Mark that has the head of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which I think confers on it an auspicious sense of historical merit that you just don't find. You just don't find in other places. But it's again another great season in the books, the greatest of HQML seasons. As it gets bigger every time out. Season 7, we'll find out more on that soon. If you are interested in the game, we hope that you will sign up. We take anybody at any skill level. It's a beer and pretzels league. It's not quite as serious as some of the more intense leagues like LHL, which probably will be starting their draft pretty soon, I believe, Calendar, and the RSL, the Rising Stars League, that will be on the way soon with their new season also. But yes, HQML, it's always for fun, and we have fun casting it, and I hope to keep casting it. I really do. I'm not ready to let go of hockey. I hope hockey's not ready to let go of us. So we want to thank everybody who played this season, everybody who made this so much fun. We really appreciate everybody who watches this stuff, whether on the live streams, which, sometimes the live streams don't get as many views, but the YouTube certainly does, and we appreciate that. In fact, this will be up on YouTube. You'll want to relive the glory of it later. If you go to YouTube, type in IBN Casting, you can watch this and all the HQML Season 6 and all the previous seasons at any time you want. Video on demand, courtesy of our friends at YouTube. And don't forget, we will be doing something in the off season. If we are not doing open skates, which we're planning on doing, then we'll be doing something. You
It'll
may be
entertaining.
forced to watch me play Secura Spirit again, like I did over New
Entertaining.
Year's. Yeah, we'll get some Secura Spirit esports going. How fast can you macro the space bar? But yeah, final thoughts, Gillinger. What a season, huh?
Yeah, it's been a heck of a season. And I don't know if anyone would have predicted it at the beginning, but yeah, Team Fancy came out, played real strong, gets their name on the cup. That's all there is to it, really.
Yep.
Very impressive play by a lot of teams, but I think there's no question which one was the best tonight.
Absolutely, and it was a joy to watch tonight. Definitely a finals that befits the term finals, and definitely one that will reverberate in the halls of hockey question mark memory for years to come. So from all of us here, I'm Winners with the One, and wow, it was a lot of hockey. It was 5 fucking games.
We're a little
But
over an hour and a half.
yes, but action-packed games all the way through. Congratulations to both teams. Your Season 6 champions, Team Fancy. Congratulations to them most especially. So from all of us here, Dr. Killinger and myself at the Independent Broadcast Network, we thank you, and we hope to see you very, very soon. Have a great weekend and a great off season.